3 years ago, I started my first business, a pressure washing company, where I'd go door to door with my grandma's pressure washer trying to make their pavement more clean. Today, 3 years later, I've built an AI agency empire selling AI agents to both local businesses and also enterprise clients at this point. And throughout my entire entrepreneurship journey, there's been 5 lessons that have held true and really taken me from that random kid who was born on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Virginia, to my life now, the life that I live today, and that maybe you guys have seen on Instagram. I want to go through these lessons in a very raw format. So we're just going to start with the first one. It doesn't matter how hard you work, what matters is what boat you're in. You could be the hardest worker in the world. Hell, you could be the smartest worker in the world. But if you're not in the right opportunity vehicle, you're unfortunately going to go nowhere. Everything depends on who you're selling to, what you're selling, not how hard are you working, how smart are you, how good are you at whatever you're doing. Everything comes down to the vehicle you're in. Warren Buffett said it. It doesn't matter how hard you row. What matters is the boat you're in, and that could not be more true. Because myself, I don't consider myself to be like a particularly smart person. I'd say I'm a hard worker, but I'm not an extremely hard worker. There's many more people who work at like construction jobs who arguably work way harder than me. But the reason I've gotten ahead in business and the reason I make really good money now at only 18 years old is because I got into the right vehicle. I was at the right place at the right time. Great example of people who are at the right place at the right time were the early coal miners. People who started the coal companies when coal was used for trains and stuff like that. It was huge back then. It's still huge today, but when you were at that right place at that right time, you built empires. And I did that today with the AI stuff. Obviously, I'm not making billions of dollars by any means, but I do very well off. I do great for myself. It's because I'm leveraging the big thing right now. I'm selling the important product to sell. Now, the second thing that I've learned is cash collected is the only metric that matters. Anything else in the entire stats, maybe it's how much revenue you made. Revenue's imaginary. It's an imaginary number. Revenue means nothing. Everybody online loves to talk about revenue. Revenue is imaginary, guys. That number don't exist. That money don't exist until it hits your bank account. Let's say like you're running a service-based business like I do. I deal with leads. So I deal with leads. A lead is a potential prospect, somebody who's about to buy my thing. If I'm running paid advertisements to acquire leads, I could have a very low cost per lead. But if I have a low cost per lead, but all my leads are broke and can't afford my products and we can't close deals, then a low cost per lead means nothing. Same thing with like a low cost per appointment. If I'm booking cheap sales appointments, but my sales guy can't close these people for one reason or another, maybe they're broke, maybe they are super skeptical, etc., it's completely useless. None of it matters. The only thing that matters is cash collected. Don't do the thing that gets lots of leads. Don't do the thing that gets lots of appointments. Don't do the thing that generates lots of revenue. Do the thing that generates lots of cash collected, money in your bank account. And not only that, but realizing that you need the profit. There needs to be money for you. You can't go out and spend all your money. If you're making high cash collected, but you're spending all your money to do so, what's the point? You're a glorified freelancer, you're a glorified employee. You're not living the dream life. Last year, that was a big mistake I made. I hired a huge team. I was overpaying. I had like $40,000, $50,000 per month in payroll at 16 years old. Let that sink in. 16 years old with $40,000, $50,000 per month in payroll. And it's not because I'm smart. And when I say that, it sounds like, oh my God, I achieved this big thing. Nah, bro, you're making like 100, 150K a month on the best month. Like I was overspending. I was being stupid. I was hiring people for dumb reasons. I was paying people way more money than they needed. And it ultimately led to me having to revert, make lots of changes, fire lots of people. And now I'm in a position today where I do a lot better. When I make money, I keep 60 to 70% of that, which is where you guys should aim to be as well. So not only is cash collected the only metric that matters, but cash collected is the only metric that matters after the sale as well. Because if you're collecting lots of cash, but you're not collecting profit, you got to collect that profit if you want to run a sustainable business and make lots of money long term. And that kind of ties into hire fast, fire fast. You can sit around and you could do 20,000 interviews with 20,000 applicants. difference. But at the end of the day, you're never going to know how good or bad somebody is until you put them out in the battlefield and you see how they fare. Some will fare well and you keep them. Some will fare bad, you fire them. I don't sit around and take 20,000 interviews to hire one person, one role. I'll take one interview. If the guy seems good, throw him in. Let's just throw him in. Let's give him a try. And we'll know within 24 to 48 hours if he's about it or not. And guess what? If he's not about it, fired. Done. I hire fast, I fire even faster. So many people, when they need to scale team and they need to hire people, they will take 20,000 application calls to do a gazillion interviews just to not even find somebody that they're halfway satisfied with. The truth is, no one's perfect. Everyone has a degree of training that's required to get them to a point where they are going to be really good in that role you're putting them in. I realized that, and after realizing that, I'm like, okay, as long as people have a good head on them, they don't have a few screws loose, I'll hire them. I'll just hire them. And if they do bad, I fire them very fast. If they do great, then guess what? Now I just hired the guy faster than my competitor. While my competitor took a week to get a client success manager, I was able to find one in a day. And maybe I had to fire 3. Guess what? I still did it in 3 days when my competitor did it in a week. And business is all about speed. Speed is the number one thing. That's what takes you ahead, is being able to get shit done. And that leads me to the next point, which is hard work and action beats everything else. If you're a guy who's constantly taking action, your competitor's going to get slaughtered. Your competitor is not going to be able to get a foothold in the market. Well, what most people do is they start a business and they treat it like a side project. They don't try that hard. And if that's you, I hate to say it, but truthfully, you probably won't go far in business. You have to try hard. If you want stuff to happen, if you want to live the life that you want to live, if you want it bad enough, guess what? You'll do whatever it takes. You'll make whatever sacrifices you have to make. Because what really matters is that end result for you. But maybe that's not you. Maybe you just want to make $10K a month, work at Microsoft, work some blue collar job, like what I was basically destined to do. But if you want to be the guy who sits here with samurai armor in the background, and I'm not trying to flex on you guys, samurai armor in the fucking background, who else has that? And guess what? You got to lock in. You got to know that you want it bad enough. And the people who do want it bad enough, because I run a private AI agency mastermind. As I said, I make all my money selling AI agents and stuff and like selling to local businesses. So I have like a mastermind for that too on the side. I can tell when people join, like some people are really about it. Some people are driven as fuck. Other people, they're okay with it just being this little side hustle, maybe they make good money, they're content. So you got to understand taking action is everything. If your competitor takes more action than you, you're going to get destroyed 100% of the time. And that's a guarantee. So if you're not taking action, start taking action and realize not only taking action, but taking action of speed is huge. Now, the next one I want to share with you is when you get a lead, when you get a potential customer, that lead either is going to buy from you, tell you goodbye, or die. They are going to buy, or die. If they haven't done any of those 3 things, there's no reason you should stop reaching out. You're never going to meet these people in person. They're just in person. Even if you do, why stop? If someone hasn't told you to stop, if they haven't died, and if they haven't bought your product, why are you going to stop reaching out? I see a lot of great companies that do very well, make hundreds of thousands per month. They end up failing, or not failing, I wouldn't say failing, but in my books failing, because they're not making more money that they could be making. They're leaving money on the table because they're not aggressive in their sales tactics. If somebody hasn't told you to stop, why are you going to stop? Oh, because I just want to be a good person. Like, that's not a good argument. If somebody wanted you to stop, they tell you. If somebody died, stop. You should probably stop. If somebody bought from you, you should definitely stop. They've already bought. Why are you going to waste time? That's non-revenue generating activity, reaching out to a guy who's already bought from you. But if they haven't told you to stop, if they haven't stopped inquiring, if they haven't stopped or opted out, why are you going to stop reaching out to them? That's an opportunity. And the businesses that leave opportunities on the table make less money. Even if they're great businesses, making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a month, if you're leaving $500 on the table, in my opinion, you're losing. That's 500K at the door. That's 1/3 of your revenue that you could have added on top. So that's the way I view it. Now, that said, guys, that was just some advice from the heart after scaling my multiple businesses to the point where they are now and being in entrepreneurship for the last 3 years. Hopefully you guys got value. If you guys want to follow me, Wyatt Roderick _ on Instagram. Go check out my page. I post a lot of cool stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.